Hey guys, Boris Lasberg from BK Forex, bkforexadvisors.com. This week, I want to focus on just one single trade and deconstruct the idea of trading algorithmically versus trading systematically. That is, using your own judgment within a framework that you've set up. And I think the RSI Bungee jump is a perfect example in the dollar yen this week of how I made some mistakes, was able to correct myself a little bit, and hopefully walked away with a little bit of profit. First of all, let's start with the original premise on the RSI setup that we had this week. As you can see, on the daily, the daily chart goes above the 10-period SMA, giving us a buy posture. This is on the 17th of April, right? So first, my posture is a buy, and then we have in the Asia session, dollar yen spike up above the 65 on the hourlies. I go long. And the trade actually takes quite a long time to develop. It's basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hours all the way into the North American session. But here's the critical thing about the RSI setup that I think is very important to understand. Generally, the idea with the RSI bungee jump is that you're buying breakouts within trend, and that tends to obviously work well. But the key thing that can always sabotage any of these trades is the news event in front of you. Sometimes, of course, it can help you, but the news in front of you, generally any kind of volatility, could always sabotage the trade because it can turn the positive sentiment or the negative sentiment that you're trading negatively right away. So the bottom line is I'm long at 45, my target is 75, and the jobless claims are coming out around 8:30. At around 8:15, 8 o'clock, the trade is trading 72. I'm literally within 5 points of target. And the much, much more intelligent thing to do, of course, is when you're that close in front of the news, when there's a news event coming in front of you, it's much better to take the volatility off and just simply close the trade manually, get out, make the profit. I did not make that choice. I was distracted and I just simply I didn't have a chance to get to the computer. And that was a big mistake because a job was printed very weakly. The trade went against me right away. And basically, I wound up almost back to break even within an hour or two. I held on to the trade through the North American session because basically I just wanted to see how the whole thing would play out. I wanted to see if this was going to really be sort of a punishment for me. It cost me the full 50-point stop loss, or whether I was going to be able to recover. But in this case, what I did is when the trade started to rally back, I actually modified my TP back down up to 70 instead of 72. Was able to very lucky to get out early Asia last night. And the trade, all is well to turn out well on the trade. But the key thing that I think you want to take away from this is that despite the fact that you have a systematic or an algorithmic trade that is driven by very hardcore data, you always want to be aware of your immediate surroundings. And if you already have a tremendous amount of profit and the immediate surroundings pose some sort of a danger to you, which is always going to be a case with news, it's much better to take the profit before the news comes out. This is a judgment call. Clearly, you're not going to take profit if you're 5 points in the money or 10 points in the money, because then you're going to screw up your win-loss ratios. But in this particular case, where I was 5 points away from my TP in front of a big news event, it was probably much more prudent for me to get out while the going was good. I was very lucky on this trade, but it's a lesson well learned for the future. I wish you guys the best of luck and the best of trading. I'll see you guys next week at bkforex.com. All the best, Boris Schlossberg.